Finland part of the day today. My name is Studi. I work as a second secretary in the Embassy of Finland in Jakarta, and I take care of the education sector.
Hi everybody, I am Mika Tiro, I'm Counselor of Education and Science, working here in whole Southeast Asia region, based in Singapore, but work for our embassy also here in Jakarta. Very nice to meet you, happy to have so many of you here.
Okay, so what we are basically here to say today is welcome to Finland. I hope you all consider Finland as your study destination. More closely where Finland is located, it can be a bit far from here, but you can see it's here in the northern part of Europe, and it may look a little bit maybe bigger in the map than it actually is. So what Finland is very much known for, besides of our high quality education, is the happiness index. So Finland has been elected as the happiest country for the 7th time in a row, and this must tell something about the country and how it is to live and study there. So more closely, what about the happiness is consisting of? So Finland has, as stated, very high quality in education, but also other good qualities, such as the good healthcare, gender equality, rule of law, nature and fresh air is all around you all the time. We are very safe Nordic country. We have very much free innovations, and the quality of life in Finland is very good. So it can be sometimes cold and dark, but there are other good qualities. And obviously the Santa Claus is coming from Finland. Yes. So are you ready for the Nordic adventure? One thing that is very important in Finland and that we want to promote is the work-life and study-life balance. So in Finland it won't be only about your studies, even though it will be very important, but you will have time to explore our beautiful country, to see the 180,000 lakes, to visit 40 nature parks, see northern lights, and one thing that is my favorite, to see the 4 seasons. More about the higher education.
Okay, I will tell you a little bit more about how the system is made in Finland. So we have 2 types of universities. One is the academic traditional universities. We have 13 of them, and 22 universities of applied sciences. So what's the difference between them? The basic rule in Finland when you go to study is that there are no dead ends. So whatever you study there, you can utilize your studies and your credit points later. So you don't lose anything. So there are no dead ends. So the traditional academic pathway leads up to PhD. If you want to make a PhD, that happens in academic universities. The strongest ones are very highly ranked actually globally, and as my background is in science, I normally love to look at the specific domain that I'm interested about, and if you do that, you can easily see that in some domains Finland and Finnish universities are among global leaders. In certain domains like in quantum technology, photonics, AI, I would say that Finland is European leader. So it's a very safe way to study. Then we have the other pathway, which is our universities of applied sciences. They are more profession oriented. So you can study directly to a profession, like for instance in healthcare sector or data analysis or so on. And this is very highly acknowledged also globally. Actually, if you look at the surveys that are done on the quality of education, meaning that how good the learners are when they come out of the university. So what is their study performance? There's a survey made by top universities globally, Universitas 21, and they concluded that Finnish bachelor students when they finish the degree are number one globally. Scientific literacy, the best. Scientific numeracy, the third. And problem solving, 7 globally. So, I mean, if study outcome and learning matters, then this is a very good choice. Good news, there are as many as 600 study programs in English. So basically, the whole society runs pretty much on this in English. So if you can speak fluent English, you can very well survive in Finland and Finnish society. All people my age, which is quite high actually, and lower, they speak fluent English. So it's not a problem at all. That actually holds the whole Europe. I mean, everything runs basically in English. So when you get interested about some specific program, it is always good to go into details, go into our Study in Finland website or meet those universities. There are many universities here present, so that you can find out how the admission procedure goes on. Normally the application period is from November to January, so you can see what programs are open and how to apply. So they give you credits based on your existing studies, but also they normally ask some further questions and give points based on that. So but it differs a little bit depending on the program at the university. So please have a look at that one by one. So yeah, so this is what I already mentioned. Always we can go to study info to find a specific program. It lists them nicely and it gives all information, what kind of data is needed to apply for this particular program.
So about the tuition fees, so this is the same as mentioned before, so it depends on the program. So in the study info, where you find all the information about the programs, they will also list out the tuition fees. And I think still that the tuition fees are comparatively low if you compare other European countries. They can vary between 4,000 to 18,000 per year. Yes, and scholarships. So in Finland, we don't have general government scholarships, but all the universities and the universities of applied science offer the scholarships by themselves. So that information can also be found at studi.ehef.id. So they can cover the whole tuition fee or parts of that. And besides that, there is the Erasmus scholarship. They have their own info desk there. With the Erasmus scholarship, you can also study in Finland. And then Indonesia, the LPDP and ISMA scholarships are also valid in Finland. Yes, so living costs. We have calculated that it would be approximately 900 euros per month to live in Finland. That includes everything, the food, the housing, the insurance and so on. Obviously there are different cities in Finland, so Helsinki, which is the capital, is more expensive than other cities in the country. Yes, so it's obviously all of the countries in Europe, they have a relatively high living costs. But in Finland, because we have a lot of subsidies for students, so it's actually very good to be a student. You get the house. Usually the students coming from abroad get the student housing, which is also very good, and it's not existing in every European countries. And then the rents are a lot cheaper. Also for the lunches and dinner, even dinners, you can eat in the student cafeteria, which is very expensive. And the students have even their own gym. And everything, if you go to the movie, always check if they have student discounts. So in Finland, student wants to stay students long time because it's very benefiting them. Yes, So once you get the letter of acceptance from the university, start the residence permit application right away. And here are the web pages. Enter Finland.fi, where you do the application, and then more about in general the entry requirements can be checked at migri.fi. So basically, if you want to see the 5 steps when applying to the Finnish universities, you firstly choose the program. It's very good to use the study info.fi, where you can see all the programs taught in English. And when you have checked the program, you should check all the admission process, application deadline, tuition fees, everything that is included, and you can check the scholarships. Then, when you have found the right one, apply for the admission and make sure you apply on time and check all the requirements. And now is actually a good time already to start the application process. Then you have to wait for the admission results, which can feel like that it's taking a long time if you're very nervous, excited to go to Finland. But finally, when you get the letter of acceptance, remember to apply for the residence permit and book your flight tickets to Finland. So as Mika mentioned, yes, we have 2 official languages, Finnish and also Swedish, but English is very well spoken in Finland. Then a little bit about the student life. So as I mentioned before, in Finland, studying is more about the education. So there are so many different student associations in Finland. If you're interested in culture, if you're interested in political science, you can join these associations. And there is, for example, Association for Indonesian Students called PPI. And in the life as a student in Finland, it is very much fun. So you have all these activities you do together, you get usually these overalls that you put together, and then you go with your friends to different student activities. It's really like a community where you belong to the community. And there are a lot of international students, but it's not only about international students, because their Finnish students are doing the same programs as well, so it's a community for all. Here you can see some pictures of our students who have been in Finland. There's the snow, and yes, we have a lot of good libraries as well. Another thing what I think is very good, so after your graduation, you can apply for a 2-year residence permit to find work in Finland. So usually, there are a lot of different job opportunities for Finland. Obviously, if you speak Finnish, it would be easier, but there are so many people who are speaking English, and there are so many English-speaking jobs. But you have to do, usually there are the alumni networks and people help you out, but you have to do also work by yourself. Also doctoral studies and research, so there is a possibility for that. And what is good in Finland is that you don't have to pay for that, but you get actually a salary for doing a doctoral and research program. So there are 2 different kind of ways. You can either contact a professor and talk with him directly, ask if they have a possibility, if you could do your doctoral degree there, or you can apply through a general system. And then for that you get a job in the university. It can include also teaching in the university, but you get the salary from the university. Yes, so also other things that we have is very world-final startup scene in Finland. We are working a lot with the green transition. International companies have a lot of work opportunities. And yeah, I think in general, Finland has always thought that investing in the education is investing in the people, and we hope that you will be able to make the same investment. So lastly, here are the good websites to check if you're interested in studying in Finland. Yes. You're invited, thank you. And at the end I want to say that in Finland we always say that there is no bad weather, there is only bad clothing. It won't be cold all the time during the summer, it's very warm actually, and then you just need to dress up and it's part of the experience. Thank you. And if there is any, we have 10 different universities and universities of applied science all lined up there. So you can go talk to them, ask about the programs. Also Study Finland, we have own booth if you want to ask like which university should I go to, we can help you find out. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask them. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Yogi. I just want to ask for the bachelor degree, is there any, I don't know, is it 3 years program or 4 years program in Finland?
3 years.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Actually, it depends a little bit. If you go to academic university, it's normally 3+2. But in UAS, that varies a little bit. So maybe 3.5, sometimes even 4. Basically, it's 3 to 4.